What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Jang's Oriental Food Workshop. I'm Chin, and this is my mum, Chu.
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. And
Yeah.
everybody we know.
And everyone we know, and everyone watching.
Yeah.
Don't forget them.
Yes, and everybody watching. That's a thumbs up for you guys who are watching us.
Awesome.
Cheese.
Cheese. it's a video, mum.
Huh?
It's not camera.
Oh.
Hello, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. We teach you how to do Chinese takeaway food as well as traditional food at home. We have got over three generations of takeaway owners in our family, dating back to 1956. So we kind of think that we sort of know what we're talking about. We don't know everything, that's very true.
Yeah, we're learning everything new every day.
Yeah, if you think you know everything, you are probably the worst kind of person in the world. Anyway, if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, by all means become a patron. $1 a month gets you extra like written recipes. Check out our merch below.
Yeah.
Also check out our web store. We sell most of the ingredients to do all of this on the... What's so funny?
No, there's nothing funny.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to smile, am I?
Then you start laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy.
Good. So yeah, check out the web store, which is www.jangsworkshop.com. Link will be below. Today's video is what, Mum?
Curry sauce, is it?
Yes, it is. Curry sauce and chips, takeaway chips. Now, unfortunately, you'll never be able to recreate the chips exactly at home for a number of reasons. I will go through that, but we'll try and get you as close to that as humanly possible. We've talked enough right now. We'll get on with the cooking.
Yeah. Happy cooking?
No, that's at the end.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's late in the night.
Not that late. Right, so the first thing you'll need is about 6 to 7 star anise, one good quality cinnamon stick. Honestly, the quality of the cinnamon stick makes a huge difference. The ones in the supermarket tend to be less flavouring. That's a real word, but yeah, you're going to need about 20 cardamom pods. You can crush them. We would normally crush them, but for the sake of time today, we're not going to. You get a far more cardamom-y flavour from it, don't you, Mum? If you crush them, but these will also pop in the high temperatures of the oil as well, so it's not always necessary. You need 4 heap dessert spoons of Eastern Star curry powder. That's good heaps of dessert spoons. You need 1 dessert spoon of fennel, 1/2 dessert spoon of cumin. See, these are all heaps. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, all heaps. You've got 2 heaped dessert spoons of ground coriander, 5 heaped dessert spoons of ordinary plain flour. Doesn't matter the quality. In fact, the cheaper the better, because this is only sort of to make a roux. Even though you'll use maybe potato starch and cornstarch to thicken later, this does help with the initial thickening process. And you're going to need 2 dessert heaps again of garlic powder. That's the dry goods. Now, to make the paste, you're obviously going to need oil. I've got 400 millilitres of oil here. I might not need all of that. Depending on how much the spices take up will depend on how much of this oil I end up using. This is just vegetable oil. We always say oil, but we refer to vegetable oil. Okay? So, there are another few steps to this. So there are a few other components in terms of thickening and the chips, but we'll go through that in a second. Okay, so here are the chips. Now these have been blanched once already in oil. They're defrosted chips. You can use steak chips, but as long as they're frozen chips, what you want to do is blanch them in oil first. So that's what we've done here. And when I say blanch them, you need a hot heat, and you need to throw them in and put them into their half cook. That's just how most takeaways do it, and then they'll finish them later. Now for the sauce, you're going to need your slurry. Now I use a 3 to 2 ratio, 2 starch, 3 water. You're going to need coconut cream. We sell this on our website, and you're going to need literally a quarter of a bar, and this will make 2 to 3 portions of curry sauce. You're going to need a lot of MSG for this, so that's 1 teaspoon of MSG, half a teaspoon of salt, and a quarter teaspoon of sugar. This is optional. I like my curry sauce with a little bit of a sweet kick to it, but you don't have to. That's just the Malay Chinese side coming out of me. Malays like their curry sweet, don't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that. We'll show you how to put this all together.
Yeah, let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking! Yeah, okay, so you need to turn your pan on, but we're also going to add the oil at the same time. So I'm going to put around 300 millilitres in. Yeah, so I've got 100 millilitres to play with. Now, when it's cold, you need to add your star anise, your cinnamon stick, and your pods of cardamom. Now, the trick is to infuse this oil with the spice flavours. You'll be surprised at how much of the flavours will be released in this.
Just have to wait.
Yeah, this will take about 5 to 6 minutes to infuse. Well, take about 5 to 6 minutes to get to temp, and then 4 to 5 minutes to infuse the oil. But again, because you're leaving these bits and bobs in there, it will just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. We always suggest that you pop the cardamom seeds, like Mum is trying to do now.
I like doing it.
Yeah, it's relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like popping spots. 100% the comment, someone in the comments going, "Ew, I can't believe you said spots in the video." Instantly turned off. Oh, well done. Okay, so what we're teaching you right now is a quick curry sauce. It's not the standard takeaway sauce. This is what we would cook ourselves, because we just think that the one that we showed you before is very lacking in flavour compared to this one. And this is much quicker to do. You will need to let it rest for at least 24 hours to get a really good result, but you can use it straight away.
These are hard cardamom. Do
all right.
not underestimate them.
I'm not sure how many portions I said you'll get out of this, but you'll easily get 10 8-ounce portions, I would say. Mum?
Yeah, sorry, I was miles away enjoying popping the cardamom seed because they are a little bit hard to pop.
Okay. Did forget to mention earlier that this is all vegan friendly, so all you vegans out there, this is one for you. Right, so this has been on a medium heat for about 3 or 4 minutes. The cardamom started to brown, which means it's time to start adding everything else. It smells amazing. So in goes your, turn the heat right down, take it off, because otherwise...
If you need to take it off, the heat, take it off.
It's misted up my camera.
Oh.
Hold on. So that's your ground coriander and cumin. You want to put the garlic powder in last. Irritating. Steaming up. You want to put the garlic powder in last, along with the flour, because that will burn. So on a very low heat, you want to cook this for about another 2 or 3 more minutes.
Yep.
If it's smelling burnt, it means it's burnt, and you have to restart again. It's not an easy thing to do when you're working with oil like this. Right, so this has been cooking for about 2 minutes now. You want to add your flour and your garlic powder. That's bubbling. See, it's bubbling there. That's too hot. It means take it off the heat. You let that cool down a bit. If anything, I'm going to add a little bit of oil to cool that down, because you do not want this to burn. That's better. Maybe a little bit more. You can't add too much oil on this, because at the end of the day, you're going to strain it off. There's little tips like that stop you from overcooking things. I hope that makes sense to you guys. It's smelling amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we want to let that cool down for a little bit, because it was too hot. We're going to let this sit for about a minute and then put it on the heat again. Okay, so this is back on the heat now, and you really do want to watch this. You don't walk away. This will take another 15 to 20 minutes to cook the flour out. If you don't cook the flour out, you're going to have a really, really floury sauce, and it's not going to be nice at all. And then likewise, but if you overcook it, you're going to have a really bitter sauce, and again, it's not going to be nice at all. This does take practice, and no matter how much we tell you how to do it, it is very much trial and error. So it's starting to bubble up now. You want to let it bubble for 10 seconds at least, and then you need to turn the temperature down. If it's still bubbling, you need to take it off the heat. So you take it off the heat, leave it on the side for a little bit, and then you put it back on the heat. It's about regulating the temperature. If it's frothing, it's too hot. If it's just sitting there like a pool of oil, it's not hot enough. Okay, so we're going to put this back on. I'm going to repeat that process for the next 15 minutes. If we feel it's cooked, we will then leave it on the side. Now, again, the only way to know it's cooked is just by practice. I can tell by the smell. It smells cooked. Yeah. But until you know the difference between cooked, undercooked and burnt, it's very difficult to say. Most of you will nail it properly if you follow these exact instructions and do it for exactly as long as I say we've done it at the end, and you should be fine. We'd just like to point out we are actually using our middle wok burner, which is quite hot. You could actually move it to a smaller one and then negate the need to move it off every now and then. We just didn't think of that to begin with, and we've started, and we're going to just keep going, aren't we, Mum?
Yeah, we like doing this way.
Yeah, the hard way.
Yes.
Okay, so this has been on for about 20 minutes now and it's ready. So if you follow our instructions exactly, you should have ready paste after 20 minutes. Now, this is the paste that we've made about 48 hours beforehand. You can see it's a completely different colour, and it will darken. It will go from this light colour to this darker colour. Don't worry, that is normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
You'll find that the paste itself will settle on the bottom and you'll be left with an oil layer on the top. That is also normal. That oil layer is very good for preserving it, so make sure you keep that on there.
Yep, keep it on.
Yeah. Also, for extra flavour, keep those bits in there, but most takeaways would sieve them out at this stage once it's cooked. For personal home use, I'd say leave them in there because it's just more flavour. It does make it a bit more hassle getting your paste later because you've got to pick them out, but in my opinion, it makes it taste way better.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
100% better.
Yeah.
So, we'll get on with making the sauce,
yeah,
and then the chips after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I forgot to mention you're going to need about 400 millilitres of water and about a good 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So that goes in the pan. You don't need medium heat for this. There's 3 good dessert spoons of that paste we made, so in and all that goes. This will make about, I'd say, 2 really large portions, 1 small. No, that doesn't make sense. 2 really large portions, or 3 portions, or 2 really large portions. That's the right way, isn't it?
I don't know.
2 large, 2 really large, 3 normal. Yeah, and we've still got at least 5 times the amount of paste left over, at least. Yeah, it will be difficult to work with until it warms up, and then all of a sudden it will just become like water. And what you want is a good bubble on this. When it starts bubbling, you reduce the temperature to low, you let it cook for a little bit. Basically, this stage is just to make sure that all your flour is definitely cooked off.
It's like you're on the seaside playing with the
sand.
Yeah.
The wet sand. It does look like wet sand.
Yeah, building that sand castle.
Yeah. I hate sand. I hate the beach. All the sand gets everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you get home and you have a shower and you still find sand.
You can see it bubbling. Bubbling away. Bubbling away.
I'm not sure if I recorded that. Never mind. If I did, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. If I did, it will stay in. Right, it's smelling like it could be about to go over. So what you're going to do now is add your water. And you want the low heat, because if you add this when it's hot, it will spit everywhere. So you want to add it on a low heat. You just mix it in nicely.
And you need to keep stirring it though. That's because the flour might settle and then it become a lump. You do not want that.
No, you do not. And then when the water goes in, this is when you can put your MSG and your salt in.
No sugar?
Oh yeah, sorry. Where's the sugar?
The sugar ran away.
Oh, it's it. Sugar ran away. There we go, the sugar goes in. Once this heats up a little bit, we'll put the coconut cream in. Want to make a delicious korma? Use this. Not that way, Indian chefs are just saying. Okay, it's warming up a bit, so in goes the coconut, and you want this to melt.
Don't forget, keep stirring it, okay?
Always stir.
Then it start to melt.
The takeaway, we heat this up in a massive wok, don't we?
Yeah.
And you have a massive whisk, and you've just got to keep moving it. And you do it about 10 minutes before shops opening. And it's the most annoying task on the planet. As you know, that's not true. Cracking eggs is the most... No, peeling garlic. No. Onions, yeah. Peeling onions. Imagine you went to work every day and your boss went to you, today you're going to do something that's going to be so painful it's going to make you cry. We do that every day. It's true actually, isn't it, when you think about it like that. Genuinely painful. See, that's thickening nicely, so we might not even need the potato starch. You'll find that coconut milk in general, not coconut milk, coconut cream, makes things thick. I don't know what it is. It could be because the protein cooks. I'd have to look into that. And also the bubbling, the water evaporating away. Some takeaways will put a drop of dark soy in to darken it up. No, I don't think it's needed.
And make sure when you stir the base as well, right? Stir the base.
Stir the base. If you don't stir the base, it will stick and it will burn and you will ruin your sauce.
It's good to have like a flexible spatula. You know, I know somebody will think that
here we go.
Spatula is not looking very prestige, but this is my favorite spatula because you could not get that anymore. And it's so flexible. Look at that. How flexible is it? And you go to the shop and you buy some of those so-called silicone one.
And they melt?
No, they don't. They don't melt. They're so stiff. Look at this one. This is a good one. I had it for years now. That's why it's looking really sad. I still could not part with it.
Yeah, when there's a good bit of equipment.
I go for this. That's why it's looking like this.
Thumbs up, eh?
Thumbs up. It's my favorite.
Maybe a company out there wants to work with us to replicate whatever that is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it is. It's brilliant. That's what it is. It's bloody brilliant, isn't it, Mum?
Yes, it is. Look. You see?
Wait. Hold on. Look at the sauce. It's thickened now.
Cool.
So we're going to take that off the heat and start doing the chips. Okay, so we've got the fat on the heat now. Just like to say a quick sorry if Mum was a bit quiet that time round, but she forgot to put the microphone on. Hopefully, in edit I can boost up the sound of her when she's talking.
Yeah, blame it on OH.
They're not that old. And we're going to do our draw for the misspelt Jang's apron soon. Mum's true age is what, Mum?
What?
How old are you?
58.
What is it?
58 for 5 months.
50. You've been 58 for 5 months.
58 and 5 months. Nearly
58
58
for 5
and
months.
a half.
So yeah, 58. Mum's been 58 for 5 months. So we'll do a draw. Anyone who commented on that video from this day forward is entered into that draw, and we'll do that live probably.
Cheers. I like my age.
Like my age. Okay, so this is up to temperature now. Remember, we've blanched these before, which basically means we put them in when they were frozen. We've cooked them until they were half cooked. This does two things. One, it means that the potatoes don't brown, because they go brown if you defrost them. Two, they cook quicker. Now, you cannot replicate the flavour at home, because in a Chinese takeaway, the amount of herbs and spices that goes into their oil is literally 1,000-fold you will ever get at home. That's part of the flavour. Also, the temperature fluctuation is great in a small pot like this, but in a massive Valentine fryer, for example, it doesn't fluctuate, so you can maintain that temperature, and that's really crucial. I mean, at the end of the day, cooking is chemistry. And that's what it boils down to. You've got the equipment to do things, you can do it. If you don't, you can't. But that is why you will never be able to replicate them fully at home. So, in they go.
Chips, yeah.
You want them on a high heat now.
High heat. Bubbling. It's good.
Bubbling.
Is good. No bubbles mean no good. Big bubbles mean good.
These will take about 2 to 3 minutes once blanched. If you did these from frozen, it'd take forever. but once blanched they take no time whatsoever. And if you're wondering what chips we've used this time, they're actually Tesco's frozen chip. Another reason why you can't replicate them is because the suppliers supply their own chips, in terms that chips that you cannot buy on the high street. These are very nearly done now. Right, so these are nice and golden brown now. You can lift them up and drain them off. Drain them off is very important. You always drain your chips off, otherwise they're horrible and greasy. Lovely.
Get some of the oil away.
You want to salt them a little bit. I'm just going to pour some curry sauce over the top. That's ready to be served. We're obviously going to put chilies on this because that's just how we roll. Okay, so this actually took longer than we thought to film, as you can tell from the shiny full hair that I was sweating quite a bit. You enjoyed that one, didn't you, Mum? There you go. Here we go. Like I said, you cannot replicate the flavour at home. When someone says, I know how to do it, yes, you do if you have a Chinese takeaway. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's good enough. Oh, I like it. It's nice.
Good.
Yeah.
So there you have it. A quick Chinese curry sauce. Way easier to make than you'd ever imagine. Also, you can make it, this will make a lot of portions. So you're easily going to get 15, I'd say 15 good, flavourful portions out of this. That's good. Yeah.
Try it out.
Yeah, try it out.
It's good.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. By all means, feel free to help us go full time by becoming Patreons. That you guys would be amazing. And also buy merch as well. That helps us out. We make very little of it because we go through Teesprings. They set the price. We just, you know, make very little. But anyway, until we're at the point where we can, you know, print them ourselves, they're going to be quite expensive. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a very good salesman, am I? I should be saying buy them, they're fucking cheap. Oh, I'm gonna leave it in.
What did it say?
I said the F word.
Is it?
Yeah. We're adults. We're all adults here.
Is it?
Yeah, we are.
I didn't hear it. Nobody hear it. We're just hearing things.
Yeah. So who said what? Who said that? Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. Remember, Mum.
Me?
Yeah.
Happy cooking and happy eating.
There we go. Cheers, guys.